focus on me, focus on me. Hello? Hello? Close. Come in. Come in. There we go. Hi, this is Katie. Today's video is going to be a fun, short, whenever I say short, I feel like my videos are 9 hours long, but I think this one is going to be a fun, quick little video. A lot of you guys know that I used to live in my car. I have on and off for the last 8 years or so. I'm not right now, but I have a lot of knowledge about living in a car, driving around the country, sleeping in a car, hanging out in your car, everything that living in a car entails. And today's video is a video that if I've done it before, I don't remember. Today's video is going to be a video kind of talking about what I do all day. I think I'm gonna split this up into 2 videos where, say I don't really have anything planned that day. You know, I don't have a hike planned. I don't have a national park I wanna go to. I'm not working that day. You know, say it's kind of like a day off. I wanted to give you guys suggestions of what you can do on a day off, but while you're living in a car. And so this video is going to be stuff to do in your car during like a day off. And then I'll probably do another video over the next few weeks of what to do out of your car on a day off. So I just wanted to give you guys some ideas. Some of them might seem like common sense, of course, but some of them, you know, might seem a little new to you, things that maybe you didn't think about. So here are just some fun things to do while you're living in a car and you just feel like hanging out in your car all day. Okay, so number one idea to do if you want to hang out in your car all day, you guys already know. You guys already know. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know. Say it with me. Sticker books. Basically any sort of arts and crafts, coloring books. I really like sticker by number or sticker by letter books. You know, I highly recommend if you're living in a car or if you're on a long road trip to have this desk. Highly recommend. It's like less than $15, I think. I have it in my Amazon recommended, link in my description. This desk hooks onto your steering wheel. And so if you're doing something like using sticker books, you can have a desk. Honestly, this is like one of the best purchases, and it was, I think, like $12 or $16 or somewhere around there. Very inexpensive, just like plastic, super thin, easy to store, but very, very handy when it comes to if you want to eat. You can use that as a table, but also if you want to do something like a sticker book or a coloring book or anything like that, any activity like that, it comes in handy. Like, it comes in handy. The second thing that you can do so easily when you're living in a car and when you're on the road and when you're traveling is watching a Skillshare class. So a lot of you guys know that I've worked with Skillshare multiple times, and they are an online learning platform, and they really specialize in creative niches. And so, you know, marketing, photography, editing, stuff like that. And so one course that I really want to highlight in this video is the, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm pulling up on my phone so I get the name right. It's Context is Key. Social Media Strategy in a Noisy Online World by Gary Vaynerchuk. Honestly, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, is one of my favorite like motivational entrepreneurs. And the fact that he has a class on Skillshare is so cool to me. There's just so many different classes on here, whether you want to brush up on something for work, whether you want to have a new hobby, anything like that in a creative area, you can probably find a class on Skillshare. Skillshare has like dedicated classes that are really like well-formed, that make it just really easy and fun to just learn something new. A lot of them are just kind of between, you know, an hour or 2 hours for the whole class. So you could just watch one of those while you're hanging out, you know? Hanging out in your car, you have your desk, you have, you know, your phone or your computer or whatever, and you can just chill out and watch a Skillshare class and actually do something productive, you know what I mean? And do something that is actually beneficial for your brain. Because sometimes we want to just chill and not really pay attention to anything, and then sometimes it really is beneficial to learn something, you know? And Skillshare gave me a link that I'm gonna have in my description, and the first 1,000 people who click on that link will get a free trial of their premium membership. And so I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And the next thing, let me look, I have a list. The next thing is going to be reading. Very, very obvious. However, the one thing that I want to recommend, which still might be obvious, but I want to recommend it anyway, is get a Kindle. If you're going to live in your car, if you're going to travel a lot and you love to read, get a Kindle. Just get one. They're probably like $100, which might seem like a little bit... That car was too loud. So yeah, they might be like $100 or so, but the amount of space that you are going to save in your car, again, whether you're living in your car or you're traveling, the amount of space you're gonna save by having a one thin Kindle versus having 10 books is going to be like enormous. And then also, if you do like to read, Kindle Unlimited is, I think, $10 a month, and you can get, you know, as many books. I think it's like up to 10 books or something a month for the $10 a month. They don't have every book on there, but they have a ton of different books. And so when I live in my car and when I'm driving around, there might be a couple books that I have. I definitely have my Bible. I literally have a devotional right here, which is obviously another really good thing to do. Hang out with God, talk to God, read your Bible. But I have this devotional. I don't know why that seemed so weird, me trying to show it to you. 365 Moments of Peace for a Woman's Heart. I have this, I just keep in the car. And there are maybe three other books that are physical books that I want to keep in the car. But those are like my favorite books, you know? And so I like physical books. However, you gotta save space when you're in the car, especially when you're in a little Toyota Yaris like I am. You gotta save space. And so having a Kindle is a really, really good idea. And then if you do like to read, having Kindle Unlimited is a very, very good deal. And that's just something, again, you know, like when you're in a house, you might just wanna chill out and read. And you can do the same thing in the car. You know, some things that you wanna do in a house when you just wanna have a relaxed day or you don't have to work that day, some things that you want to do in the house, you can't do as easily in the car. But some of them you can, like reading, you know? And obviously, this list is like not scrolling through Instagram for 4 hours. You know, some things that are still fun, still might be relaxing, or might be productive and helpful, you know? So anyway, next. Okay, I think I mentioned this in one of my recent videos. One of the other things that I would recommend, if you're just hanging out in the car, is finding a game or a couple games on your phone that you really enjoy. My favorite game on the phone is Two Dots. I love it, I love it. It's one of those games that there's just a bunch of dots and you have to like match them, 2 or more obviously, and then there's little obstacles and stuff like that, but I love that game. But there's a couple games I play on my phone. Two Dots specifically is fun, but also like takes strategy. So you do have to pay attention, and it does, like, I feel like games like that one in particular really do help like keep your brain sharp, you know? But then there's like word games, there's tons of games on your phone that you can download for free or for very inexpensive that are fun, but also like keep your mind sharp, you know? And obviously if you don't wanna be on your phone at all, you can definitely get like little brain teasers or puzzles or anything like that physically, you know, like go to Target and just find like little brain teasers or anything like that. I really think no matter what age you are, no matter what you're doing with your life, it's really important to keep your brain sharp. That's why things like Skillshare are really important, but then also just any games. Like there's a lot of games out nowadays that keep your brain sharp, you know? And so I think that that could be a good idea as well. So the next thing that I do have written down is puzzles. Whether that is a literal physical puzzle of puppies, or it's some kind of like brain teaser kind of puzzle, whether it's physical or on your phone, it's definitely something that you can do in your car when you're just hanging out here. And you have your desk, so you're already all set. Another thing you could do is buy a Game Boy. And I specifically said Game Boy instead of all like these new ones because I don't really even know the new ones, but buy a Game Boy, buy an old one, and play like, what did I used to play on my Game Boy? I used to have a Game Boy Advance and I would play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I loved that game. Like you can play games on your phone, but you can also play games on a Game Boy or something like that. I kind of do want a new Game Boy. The next thing, I hate even saying this, but it just is one. It's an option. You can clean your car if you don't want to leave your car. If you don't want to leave your car that day, you can clean it and organize it, do something, you know, like go through. It's almost like when you're at home and you're like, you know what, I should really clean out my closet. It could be similar when you're in a car. It's like, oh, you know what, I have not cleaned out my glove compartment or my trunk in a while or anything like that. That could be something that you do. I know it's not as fun. Some people it's definitely fun. I like organizing, but I know that's probably to most people the least fun thing on the list. Okay, just a couple more. One is find new music. I found this website today called Music, but it's G-N-O-O-S-I-C, Music. I don't know. Anyway, you type in 3 of your favorite bands and then they come up with other bands that you would really like. And I think that's such a great thing to do sometimes, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I just listen to the same music over and over and over and over. And I like doing that. It's fine, but sometimes you realize that you might be missing out on other music. And so this is a prime time to just find some other bands that you might like, you know? Another one, which I need to do, is you can paint your nails in the car, but just make sure that you have a window open. Just make sure like that you have some ventilation, but you can definitely paint your nails in the car. Guess what? With the desk. Also, another thing that you could do, obviously, is FaceTime your friends, FaceTime your family, call someone, catch up with some people, you know? So you could just hang out in the front seat, lean the seat back a little bit and FaceTime with one of your friends, or, you know, call your mom, call your dad too while you're at it. Call your brothers, call your sisters. You know, just call or even just text someone that you haven't talked to in a while, especially if it's someone that you haven't talked to in a while and you want to send like a kind text. You know, that's always so nice to receive. Like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing well. You know, that's something that you can do. And speaking of just kind of nice things to do, there are definitely websites and organizations where you can like write letters to people and almost just kind of like have a pen pal, but it could be, you know, like get well soon cards or anything like that. There are so many organizations that receive things like that that they can give out to the people who would benefit from them. And so that's something you can do as well, like a really like just a nice thing to do to connect to other people like that. And the last thing that I'm gonna mention is you could journal. You know, obviously you could even start vlogging, you know, especially if you're living in the car, if you're traveling around, even if you don't post a blog or a vlog, having a journal or even like a video diary of stuff is just so helpful. Like, I don't personally keep a written journal, but I do take a lot of videos of myself, and it's just something that's really, really cool to have, you know, to remember some of your memories, to have things that are written down or recorded that you can show other people, or that even spark your memory in the future if you want to reread your journal or rewatch some of your vlogs that you have, or even just look at pictures that you've taken. I think that whether we are living a more typical life, and I don't mean that in a negative way, I just mean, you know, more 9 to 5 living in a house, or whether we're living something a little bit more atypical, I think it's just so easy sometimes to just kind of float on by and to sometimes forget what's really important, you know? And so if we journal or take some videos of ourselves and just kind of talk things out, whether it's talking out an issue that you have or just talking something out that you wanted to remember for that day, it can be so helpful for the future if you want to like backtrack and be like, you know what was I doing 3 years ago? But then if you have a journal of it or a video of it, then you can have something to remind you. And I think that could be really cool. So anyway, I think that's it. I just wanted to give you guys some ideas of things that you can do in your car, whether you're living in your car or you're on a long road trip, if you don't want to leave your car for a day and you don't have work, you don't want to scroll through Instagram all day. And so here are just some examples of some things that you could do while you're hanging out in your car. Obviously, this is not a full list. This is just a couple things that you can do. And so if you have any other ideas as well, let us know in the comments. So I guess it's going to be it. Thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.